No questions, no queries.
Sir, my problem didn't solve, sir.
Which one?
Like yesterday, sir, sir, when I'm creating an application, sir, when I'm creating an form, like when I submitted feedback, 3 star, 2 stars, then I'm trying to connect the form to the application, so didn't work, sir.
Okay, share your screen. Submit a new response. Have you submitted a response?
Yes, sir. Again, I will submit.
Okay. No, not again. Wait. Can anyone know what is the problem here? Can anyone tell me? Let's try to find out what the problem is.
What are the connectors we use to?
The trigger is not working, I think. Okay, can you show us your flow? Can you go to edit and show us your flow? Go to the trigger, first one. First stage. When a new response is submitted, is it Office 365 survey? When the response retail is, what is the condition? Condition. What are you comparing? I don't understand. Remove the left hand side of the equation and write again. What have you written in the left side? Yeah. Yeah. Remove that and write that again. Okay. So rating of the application. No, it is invalid. Integer. It should be inside the bracket. Your conditions are not right. Show your conditions. What is the condition?
Condition is like if greater than or equal to 3, when like user will submit feedback, sir, then
And
like it will show good response, sir.
it is also less than 3. So what number, when will this condition be satisfied? What is the rating that user will give when this condition will satisfy?
Like less than 3, sir, like it will sir, get some bad response.
Say that again.
No, less than 3, that means like user when will submit less than 3, then like will get bad response, sir.
No.
Is
That is not how it will work.
counterpart also in that both are it's ambiguity problem, sir.
Yeah. So others, can you please explain what is wrong here?
Both conditions are there. Counterpart is there also.
Yes, sir. Here he's just trying that the rating is greater than equal to 3, less than 3 means all the parties are means 1 to 5 all are means what?
He has applied all logic. There is
Yeah,
no
in
no
that
rating.
login.
Yeah,
Ambiguity.
there is no rating
Yeah.
that can be valid to this particular condition.
Yeah,
Can
you
there be
just
any?
remove the second condition. If it is greater than 3, greater than equal to 3, then it will be good response. Otherwise, bad.
That's right. If it is
If you want to put that that condition also, then in else part you have to put that. Question.
sorry, I think I was having a disconnect. If it is greater than 3, then it will move toward yes. If it is less than 3, then it will move towards no. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
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 sir.
sir.
Okay. Let's see how if it does work or not.
No need to add. Just save and run.
Have you submitted a response?
Yes, sir. I submitted the response.
Go to forms. Go back. This is forms. The form name is here is Suruchi Homeopathic Bhagalpur, and on your flow it is Office 365 survey. So which one it is?
Yes, sir. Office 365 also.
So you have to submit Office 365, right? Since you have given that as a trigger point.
Yes, sir. I just changed the name, sir.
Okay. You need to make those changes there as well.
This Office 60. Okay. No, second.
Okay, seems like running.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what else? Any other question?
Close.
Okay, come on. So how you think Power Automate can be used at various places in real world examples? Come on, let's discuss capabilities of Power Automate. What do you think? Chandan, how can you use Power Automate
So
in
when
everyday
it's
process?
standard activities is in the organization, repetitive tasks, then which is like onboarding process.
Onboarding process? Okay.
Onboarding
Explain.
process means whenever HR got the candidate after the process, what are the steps are there. These are repetitive for all the candidates. Every time it's repeating, then we put the Power Automate.
Mhm.
For that, there should be triggers and trigger point and connectors are there. We choose the connectors according to our need. So
Okay.
I just want the idea about the connectors. Can you help me, sir?
Question about connectors? Yes, tell me.
What are the connectors used for the HR to build automate in recruiting process?
Well, it will really depend upon the service that they are using, right? Probably if they are using maintaining an Excel sheet for all the information, and then they are copying that information from Excel sheet over an email and then sending it to a manager, then you think, that Excel connector will be used, Outlook connector will be used, and maybe approval can also be used.
And these steps are in the automate process and make the automate process.
Yeah, there are connectors available for those procedures.
But as of now, we are creating the manual testing. But when it is automate, means how it is possible? We are testing it manually, our flow. But when
We're
it is
testing it only because we need to do it. We need to check how it is done. But even if you don't go to test and keep it in manual, and if you have, like right now, Sumit has created a flow on forms, right? So if he he close Power Automate and just go ahead and submit form, doesn't keep it on test, the flow will run. The flow is turned on. You can see the state of the flow. In the flow description page, you can see if your flow is on. If the flow is on, and whenever the trigger will happen, the flow will run automatically. You try yourself. You have made few flows. One of them is a forms flow. Do not open Power Automate. Just submit the form. You would see that the flow would run, provided that the flow's state is on.
flow state on means this is in Power Automate. That's we created
Yeah,
the.
you go ahead and select your flow. You go to the flow description page. You will see the state of your flow.
Status is on.
Okay. On. You just need to submit that form now.
You can't off it now. It's always on.
Yeah, when you make a flow, you save it, it is always on. You can turn it off, turn it on as well.
Okay.
Okay. I have few questions today, which is more of like based out of everything that we have learned so far. Power Apps, Power Automate. So I'm going to share a link with you all. This is a test just to test your knowledge. Okay, this will test your knowledge in case of what have you learned till date about the subject that we have been covering. So are you ready for the test?
Okay.
Can I share that test over the chat?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
How much will you score? Lifakat.
Sir, how many questions will there? Like 10
So
or
10 questions are there. Let's say in percentage, how much you score? How much think you will score?
sir, I think I can score like 60% or 70%.
Okay, Abhishek,
Yes, sir.
how much will you score?
Yeah, it's depending upon the question, sir. After seeing that question, I will.
I know that, but what do you think? 10 questions are there. After 100%, how much will you score?
And maybe 80%, 80 to 85.
Sumit?
I will give my best, what I learned, sir.
Chandan?
Sir, 80-90%. I will do that.
Okay, let's see. All right, I shared that test. Please do go ahead. Just a moment. Not this. Don't use that URL. Use this URL.
Sir, URL is not there.
Use 7959, the URL that I have shared right now. Click on that URL. It will ask you to enter your email address, and then you can start your test. So there are 10 questions. If we give 2 minutes to every questions, which means we have 20 minutes for this test. Take your time. This is an open book test. You can refer your notes, everything for, you can also go to Power Apps, Power Automate to check how you will go ahead and have a solution for that. statement is true. I was not expecting you to answer this question correctly, but many of you have. So user need to be added to predefined. This is something we are going to discuss before our training ends as well. Yes, we can. While we are sharing the application, we can share that application as a user, as a user, or as a co-owner. Okay, we'll discuss this one by one. The first question: when you build a model-driven app, which designer is used? This is very easy. Sitemap designer. When you want to share a model-driven app, which of the following statement is true? I was not expecting you to answer this question correctly, but many of you have. So user need to be added to predefined. This is something we are going to discuss before our training ends as well. So what are security roles, how they can be created? So the correct answer here is user need to be added to predefined or custom security role. Where do you find flow templates? Directly from the Power Automate Builder website. That's right. You want to build a mobile app that allow you to complete control over the user experience and design. For sure, it is a Canvas application. How can data source be used with Power Automate? Power Automate can connect to microcontrollers.
This 600 plus.
Yes, sir. First one also, sir.
And by
Power Automate can connect to data sources, use one of the 600 pre-built connectors or build your own custom connectors. Right? Yes. So it can use Office 365 and Azure, but it can also use third-party connectors. That's why it is saying a custom connector. So third-party services, you can also connect to those by creating a third. So the correct answer here is the last one. Okay.
Yes,
what is not a component of Power Apps?
Power App mobile app, but I did Flow Design. That I thought that.
Yes, because Flow Designer is part of
Power Automate.
Flow Designer.
But this is not correct. Power App mobile app.
Power Automate is
Correct.
like the part of the Flow Designer.
Flow Designer is part of Power Automate, right?
Yes, sir.
Everyone agree?
No,
Yeah.
sir. No, sir. The correct
No?
answer is D. Power App mobile app. I thought I also made the mistake. Flow Design. That time, but I am.
I thought, sir, like Power Designer is not the part of the Power Apps because it is the part of the Power Automate.
Power Apps mobile app is not the component of Power Apps.
So that's your answer?
My answer is C, but I thought that the answer will be D.
No, the answer will be C because Flow Designer is part of Power Automate. Rest
Then
all of the things.
Then I chose the C option, but why it's incorrect in my memory?
Is it so?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I didn't receive the mail, sir.
Okay. I'll check and correct and see it. So the correct answer is Flow Designer because Flow Designer is part of Power Automate. Rest other thing, Power Platform, Power App Studio, Power Apps mobile app can be linked to Power Apps.
Yes, sir. But it is incorrect for me. I chose the C option.
Okay, I'll check and see. I'll correct it. Okay. Which screen is not part of the screen list when an app is created out of data source? As I said, you can.
I chose the browse. The screen was incorrect.
I just choose one, sir. Like I'm not sure because I don't know.
Yeah, no, so try creating an application. Try creating an application out of a table in Dataverse. You will see that you have browse screen, you have detail screen, you have edit screen, but you don't have a new screen. There is no screen by the name of new screen. You only get three: browse, detail, and edit. Remember the crude rule: create, read, update, delete.
Thread of listeners. Yeah, thread of listeners.
Yeah. So new screen is not there. Try it out. Try creating an application out of Dataverse table from Power Apps, and you would see that there is only three screens: browse screen, detail screens, and edit screens. Okay. What property of button determines the navigation?
On select, sir.
On select.
Is there a property by the name of on click?
Yeah, even
No,
check.
sir.
Go ahead. Tell me out of these four, what are the properties that are available?
On pressed is not there. Choose is not there. On click, I thought that.
No, sir. On click is not there. On select.
On select is the right answer.
Okay. You cannot make coworker as owner of the app you create.
False.
True, false?
False.
Once.
All right. We can make them owner.
Sir, here,
What?
sir, we can't make co-workers like as a owner.
No, you can share an app with them. Owner. You cannot make coworker as owner of the app, which means you
Yes, this line is
cannot assign them as an owner, but you
and after that code the app you create.
for the app you create. That's right. You can make them. You can say that the question can be more corrected to be you cannot make coworker as a co-owner of the app you create, right?
Yeah,
So that in that case,
that's the true, sir. Like you can't make co-workers as a owner.
Yes, sir. When we will create one hub to submit all the codes, then all the development, then it will be co-workers are allowed to get the parallel development.
Co-worker
they can be
can
you
access.
can choose the user or co-owner.
Yes, sir. We are just creating. Suppose I am creating one application, then I will give access to that co-worker, but not the ownership directly. That ownership
I
will
can
consumed by
give the
me.
user. I'll
They
give the
can do that.
usership.
Yeah, they
Give them
can
the
only
ownership.
use. Yes, sir.
Okay. Last one.
Can
What are two?
make-
Yes.
Yeah, we
Apologies.
can't make them as owner.
Not
Suppose
we
one
can
Facebook
make-
application is
get
there.
the credential.
Mark Zuckerberg is
Work on
give us the permission to use that, and their staffs only just edit it, not that ownership they will give.
ownership means it's
Here ownership is
the
not
other.
legal ownership. By ownership we mean can they develop that application? Yes, they can.
They can.
Ownership is legal. So here we want to say that can they develop it? Can they edit that application? Yes, other can also edit your application if you share that application as a co-owner.
Yeah, then it is the false. It's showing that you can make co-worker as a owner, not for co-owner.
Yes, the answer is false.
What are two ways to add media in Power Apps? One, you can upload the media,
Yes.
right? Second, you can refer it by URL.
Yes. You can give them link.
All right, we'll keep our training restricted to this. Thank you for answering those questions, and I'll